Well, good morning, students. So, in the last class, we have solved a few questions on differentiation, and we have also solved some exemplar problems. So, now I am going to solve few more problems on continuity and differentiability. So, the question is, if f of x which is equal to 2x and g of x which is equal to x square by 2 plus 1, then which of the following can be a discontinuous function? So, he has given four options. So, see here, let us solve this. So here f of x and g of x both are continuous functions. So in the theory classes we have studied the sum of the two continuous functions is also a continuous function, whereas the difference of two continuous functions is also a continuous function, and multiplication of the two continuous functions is also a continuous function, and division of two continuous functions is a continuous function provided denominator should not be equal to 0. So here, let us consider the option 4 by trial and error method. So the function f of x divided by the function g of x divided by f of x, the function g of x divided by f of x can be discontinuous, if f of x which is equal to 0. That means if the denominator becomes 0, then this g of x divided by f of x becomes discontinuous. So now see here, this implies, what is f of x now? It is 2x. So 2x which is equal to 0. That means x which is equal to 0 divided by 2, that is equal to 0. So now the value of x is 0. So that means at x equal to 0, g of x divided by f of x becomes discontinuous. So here at x equal to 0, g of x divided by f of x is a discontinuous function. Is a discontinuous function. Hence the answer is option 4. So the next question it is, the function f of x which is equal to 4 minus x square divided by 4x minus x cube is, so he has given four options. Option A, it is discontinuous at only one point. Option B, discontinuous at exactly 2 points. Option C, discontinuous at exactly 3 points, and last option, it is none of these. So let us take up the given function here. So f of x which is equal to 4 minus x square divided by 4x minus x cube. Now I take x common in the denominator. F of x which is equal to, so write the numerator as it is, 4 minus x square divided by, take x common here, we get 4 minus x square. So now 4 minus x square and 4 minus x square both get cancels now. We get 1 by x. So f of x which is equal to 1 divided by x. So now f of x becomes discontinuous if the denominator is 0. So now see here, this implies f of x is discontinuous. X is a discontinuous function, is discontinuous if x equal to 0. That means if the denominator becomes 0, then this function becomes discontinuous. So we have only one point now. That means at x equal to 0, it is discontinuous. So which is the right option now? So the function is discontinuous at only one point. That is the option A. So the next question it is, if f of x which is equal to mx plus 1 if x less than or equal to pi by 2, and sin x plus n if x greater than pi by 2 is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. Then he has given 4 options. So see here, we solve this. So now I will go for left hand limit and right hand limit. So we will take up LHL which is equal to limit x tends to, so he says the function is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. So the point is going to be pi by 2 minus 1. X tends to pi by 2 negative. So what is the function now? F of x. So x less than pi by 2. The function is going to be mx plus 1. So it is mx plus 1. So now LHL which is equal to, so apply the limit now. In place of x I have to write pi by 2. So m pi by 2 plus 1. So this is the left hand limit. Now I will go for the right hand limit. Now RHL which is equal to limit x tends to pi by 2 plus. So pi by 2 plus means it is greater than pi by 2. The function is sin x plus n. Sin x plus n. So now let us apply the limit here. RHL which is equal to, so sin pi by 2 plus n. What is the value of sin pi by 2? It is 1. So RHL which is equal to, so it is 1 plus n. So this is the right hand limit. So he has given very much clear that the function is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. Therefore I am going to equate LHL and RHL now. So here the function is continuous. The function is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. The function is continuous at x equal to pi by 2. Therefore LHL which is equal to RHL. So now what is LHL here? It is m pi by 2 plus 1. M into pi by 2 plus 1, which is equal to, what is RHL? It is 1 plus n. 1 plus n. So here 1 and 1 get cancels. We get n which is equal to m pi by 2. This implies n which is equal to m pi by 2. Which is the right answer now? It is option C. Well, so let us take up the next question. The function f of x which is equal to cot x is discontinuous on the set. So he has given 4 options now. Option A, it is x equal to n pi, n belongs to z, and option B, x equal to 2n pi, n belongs to z, and x which is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 and n belongs to z, and the last option it is x which is equal to n pi by 2 and n belongs to z. So let us take up the given function now. F of x which is equal to cot x is discontinuous if cot x becomes infinity. So for which angle the cot x becomes infinity now? It is for 0 degree. So this implies that cot x which is equal to cot 0. What is cot 0 now? It is cos 0 divided by sin 0. So cos 0 divided by sin 0. What is cos 0? It is 1. Sin 0, it is 0. 1 by 0 will be infinity. So cot x equal to cot 0. This implies x which is equal to n pi and n belongs to, for all n belongs to z. So which is the right answer now? It is the option A. So the next question it is, let f of x which is equal to mod sin x. Then the 4 options are f is everywhere differentiable, and then second option it is f is everywhere continuous but not differentiable at x equal to n by n belongs to z. And then option C it is f is everywhere continuous but not differentiable at x equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 and n belongs to z. And then the last option it is none of these. So see here, we go for the solution. Consider f of x now. F of x which is equal to f of x which is equal to y which is equal to mod sin x. Mod sin x. So now we know the graph of the sine function. So the graph of sine function it is this is y 0 x. So see here. So this is pi by 2, whereas this is pi, and this point it is 3 pi by 2, and this point it is 2 pi, and it continues. So this is the graph of the sine function. But here we have mod sin x. So that means even if the curve falls in the negative axis, it has to be shifted to the positive axis. So let us redraw the graph of mod sin x. So now I will go for the mod sin x. So here it is 0. So now till here it remains same. So from 0 to pi it remains same because it is there in the first quadrant. So it is pi by 2 and then this is pi. So now from pi to 2 pi the graph of sin x lies in the negative axis. So now this has to be shifted to the positive axis because we have the modular sign. So what does the modular sign indicate now? Even if it is negative, we have to consider that as positive. So this graph will be shifted to the positive axis, positive quadrant. So the graph will be something like this. So now, so this is pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. And then next one it is 2 pi to 3 pi. So it is this one. This is x axis. So this is 3 pi. Then after 2 pi it is 5 pi by 2. Similarly, we get the same graph in the negative axis as well. So now I draw the negative axis graph. This is x dash, this is y dash. So now from here to here it is minus pi by 2 and then minus pi. Then minus pi to minus 2 pi. So the graph is this one. Minus pi minus 3 pi by 2 and then minus 2 pi. So this is the graph of mod sin x. So here y which is equal to mod sin x, mod sin x. So now observe one thing here. So here from minus 2 pi to 3 pi the function is continuous. So see here, you are able to draw the graph of this function without lifting the chart. So this clearly shows that the function is everywhere continuous. So search for the options now. So option A it is straight away eliminated and option D are straight away eliminated. Now the answer lies in the option B or option C because it is continuous everywhere. So now observe at pi, 2 pi and 3 pi. So you are able to draw many tangents at this particular point. You are able to draw multiple tangents. Therefore, the function is not differentiable at x equal to n pi. If we generalize it, this is pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, and it continues. Is that right? So if we generalize that, it becomes n pi. So which is the right answer now? F is everywhere continuous. It is everywhere continuous, even in the positive axis as well as the negative axis. It is continuous, and then but not differentiable at x equal to n pi where n belongs to z. This is the right answer. So the answer is option B. So root 3 cube will be 3 times root 3. So 3 root 3 minus 3 root 3, the value will be 0. So f of b, that is root 3 is also 0. So here f of a is equals to f of b. That means the third point is also satisfied. Therefore f of 0 which is equal to f of root 3. Next I will go for the last condition. So here we will go for f dash of x which is equal to differentiate this now. We get 3x square minus 3. So now see here, for Rolle's theorem, f dash of c is equals to 0. So what is f dash of c now? Replace x by c here. We get 3c square minus 3 which is equal to 0. So now 3c square which is equal to 3. Then so here 3 and 3 get cancelled. So we get c square which is equal to 1, c which is equal to plus or minus 1. So we have got two values of c now. So which one we are going to consider? So look at the interval. It is closed interval 0 comma root 3. That means minus 1 does not belong to this interval. So we have to take c equal to plus 1. See here. This implies c equal to minus 1 and c equal to plus 1. Therefore c is equals to 1 which belongs to open interval 0 comma root 3 since c equal to minus 1 doesn't belong to open interval 0 comma root 3. Therefore the value of c it is 1. So which is the right answer now? It is option A. So the next question it is the value of c in Rolle's theorem for the function f of x which is equal to x cube minus 3x in the interval closed interval 0 comma root 3 is, the given four options are option A it is 1, option B it is minus 1, option C it is 3 by 2 and option D it is 1 by 3. So now let us recall the Rolle's theorem. So what was the statement of the Rolle's theorem? The function f is continuous on closed interval and the function is differentiable on the open interval a comma b, and the next third point it is f of a must be equal to f of b, and then the last point it is then there exists a c, at least a c, one point c in open interval a comma b such that if dash of c is equals to 0. So we have studied this in the theory. So let us solve this now. The given function it is f of x which is equal to x cube minus 3x. The given function is x cube minus 3x. So this function will be continuous in closed interval 0 comma root 3 and this function will be differentiable in open interval 0 comma root 3, and then we have to check the third condition, that is f of a is equals to f of b. So I go for f of 0 now. F of 0 it is 0. In place of x we write 0. The value will be 0 now. And then next one it is f of b. What is b here? Root 3. So now it becomes root 3 cube minus 3 root 3. So root 3 cube is nothing but 3 times root 3. Well, so the next exemplar problem it is for the function f of x which is equal to x plus 1 by x, x belongs to closed interval 1 comma 3. The value of c for mean value theorem is the option A it is 1, option B it is root 3, option C it is 2 and option D it is none of these. So write the function now f of x which is equal to x plus 1 by x. So now the first two statements of mean value theorem are the function is continuous in closed interval 1 comma 3, the function is differentiable in open interval 1 comma 3, and then f of a should not be equal to f of b, and then by mean value theorem the formula it is f dash of c which is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So now see here, I'll go for f dash of x straight away. F of x which is f dash of x which is equal to derivative of x will be 1, and then derivative of 1 by x will be minus 1 by x square. So we get minus 1 divided by x square. So this is f dash of x. Now I have to go for f of a and f of b. So here f of a, it is 1. The value of a, it is 1. So f of 1, which is equal to, so 1 plus 1 by 1. In place of x I have to write 1 now. So 1 plus 1 by 1, it is 2. Then I go for f of b, that is f of 3. So replace x with 3 now. So we get 3 plus 1 by 3. 3 plus 1 by 3. So simplify this now. 3 will be multiplied with this. We get 9. 9 plus 1, it is 10. We get 10 divided by 3. So now let us go for the formula, standard formula. By MVT, f dash of c which is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So now what is the f dash of c here? F dash of x is 1 minus 1 by x square. F dash of c will be 1 minus 1 divided by c square, which is equal to f of b, it is 10 by 3, then minus f of a, it is 2, then whole divided by b minus a, it is 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1. So I write the LHS as it is, divided by c square, which is equal to, so now take up the LCM here. 3 will be multiplied with this. We get 10 minus 6, that is 4. 4 divided by 3, then whole divided by 3 minus 1, it is 2. So 1 minus 1 divided by c square, which is equal to, these two will be multiplied now. So 4 divided by 6. So now 1 minus 1 divided by c square, which is equal to, so here it becomes 2 by 3. Then 1 minus 2 by 3, which is equal to 1 by c square. So take up the LCM now. 3 will be multiplied with 1. 3 minus 2, it is 1. So 1 by 3, which is equal to 1 by c square. This implies c square, which is equal to 3. Therefore c, which is equal to plus or minus root 3. So we have two values of c now. Which one we have to select? So look at the interval now. So the interval is 1 to 3. That means we should not consider negative value of c here. This implies c, which is equal to root 3, which belongs to the interval, open interval 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3. Since minus c, which is equal to minus root 3, does not belong to the interval, open interval 1 comma 3. That is why we have considered the positive value. So the answer, it is option B.